It's ADSN on the beat, where the data meets the street. James and Daniel in your feed, breaking down the code you need. Tech talk, ad game, and a little AI. Every week we got the chat on ADSN.
Oh man, another unbelievable ADSN is on store. This week we get to start by celebrating our fellow brethren in trying to attempt making a business show. TBPN, first story of the day, acquired by OpenAI for over $100 million. Whoa. I mean, I would say one thing it really made me think is that I've been obsessed with this thing since it launched. I just need to start investing in things I get obsessed with immediately. But it is a huge deal. Pomp had this great post about it, which is basically like they acqui-hired Jordy and John. And they now have basically a way to set the narrative for AI. So overall, kind of a crazy move, but definitely one that's going to have impacts. And I think other big platforms may do the same thing.
Yeah, I don't get it, to be honest. I mean, I like it for the TBPN guys. I think
I like it for the ADSN guys. Great for the ADSN guys.
I like it for the ADSN guys. We're not looking to sell, but if there's a strategic out there that's interested, let's talk.
We do have conversations this week about this hat getting sponsored. Which is
a few sponsorships actually, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm willing. But you want to sponsor my glasses? You could do that.
Yeah. I've got a lot of space back here we can sponsor. But I just don't understand, I guess, Ben Thompson, kind of reading through his thing this morning, I really kind of agree with him. It's like OpenAI has had all of these fits and starts of things they're testing. This seems like a really bizarre one for them. I think you lose kind of journalistic integrity, or at least the perception of it. They've ripped away all the revenue opportunity. You basically have a small team coming in to be a content arm. But I don't really get the value for them long term. I get it for companies that maybe are more B2B. Maybe this is their B2B play. It's a strange one.
I'm not trying to overthink it. I'm excited for those guys. I will say, I don't know John or Jordy. I've talked to a couple of them before, but John's background now with this. So he invented Soylent. He was the founder of Soylent. He has the company called Lucy, which is sort of like the Zins before Zins. That's kind of insane. He was an EIR at Founders Fund, and then now he sold this thing to OpenAI. I mean, that is a pretty epic run. I looked at his LinkedIn the other day. I mean, it said he's 4 for 4. It's kind of amazing. And I heard that they started the show at Jonathan Club downtown in LA, which is kind of a fun fact.
I didn't know that. All right. That's a fun fact.
Yes.
Then.
Someone texted me about that. Pretty amazing stuff. But we had to start there. Congrats, guys. Excited to see what you do with it. Yeah. And I could imagine other shows that end with an N getting acquired, because why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So ADSN, I think big things for us. All right. Congrats to those guys. Next up, this one coming in from Oliver B. More just, I think, what we're starting to see take shape in the industry. So he wrote, I join every sales call 90 seconds early and say things the prospect will never hear because I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to their AI note taker. Every $5 million e-com brand runs them now. Firefly's Otter, Fathom. Those bots join 60 seconds before the founder does. He goes on to explain how he kind of hacks the system. He basically talks about other competitors, how he really loves the brand he's about to talk to, how he's going to, offer them a discount because he just wants to work with them. All this stuff that's getting captured in the AI note taking and then gets bubbled up in the post conversation summary for the brand operator. And I think this is, one, it's brilliant, but two, it's really indicative of every business needs to reorient their strategy to cater to AI and to cater to the use cases of how people are leveraging AI in their everyday lives. And I think this one was just one that we talk about salespeople all day. This is one that I think is just perfectly encapsulating how people need to think about this.
Yeah, it's amazing. I had not heard that was the hack. Obviously, the next step there is just having your AI log in early to talk to the AI. I mean, this whole idea that now AIs are going to broker with each other is clearly what's going to happen. So I think this is a moment in time. This is it's like someone hacked the Facebook feed back in the day, right? This thing won't last. But for now, it's pretty clever.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, this is all going to change so much, but I think this is just indicative of like today, people just need to rethink how they're operating. Because if you're trying to do business as usual, like you're going to get just lapped by guys like this. But I know we're on the same page there. This next one coming in from Evis Dranova. He writes, I remember hearing about a guy at Salesforce who looked at their roadmap, saw a product that would take 3 years to build, quit, and built it himself as a startup. Salesforce acquired it. Then he did the same thing again, then retired. Legend. I think this is the era of AI that we're in. Just like identify the problem that your company that is not AI native isn't going to solve and isn't going to solve in 3 years. Go solve it, get bought, and just repeat.
I think that's going to happen over and over again. That happened at Snapchat.
Yeah.
With the Lens guys. Yeah. They like invented Lens. They left. They started Lens one. I think they sold it twice. Right?
I think so. Yeah.
It was the Look3 guys. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I totally buy this will happen over and over again. I mean, I don't know how easy it is for these. Although
it's nothing new. I think it just accelerates now with AI, right? Like this was always the case. We always saw about Meta folks like coming back through, Snap folks coming back through. It's just a new era. I think it's going to happen so much faster and so much more.
The boomerang via acquisition. Yes, I can see that happening. It's ridiculous, but I do love it. It probably will happen. I'm feeling one founder who would not play this game, which is out of the next story, is Elon Musk, which this is kind of epic. The story is that Musk is requiring firms working on the SpaceX IPO to use Grok as their enterprise AI. Most of the banks, I think, have agreed to it. It's another, like, first of all, I think Grok's really good.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. I mean, like, he has so much leverage to do this. And how do these banks not say yes to this, right? I mean, like you're saying. Yes.
And if you say no one time, like that's it. You're never working with this guy again.
Yeah.
So like
totally. And you have so many deals. He is gonna buy a bunch of stuff. There's Chamath put out this thing. It's like it seems like there's a whisper campaign that after SpaceX goes public, then Tesla becomes part of it and it all becomes X Corp.
Yeah.
Right. And like he's like, you've like found, he like actually, he did the thing he was trying to do, which is crazy. So like if I'm a bank, how do you not play ball in this thing? And I heard from a friend of a friend that it was.
This is like an Adam Schefter report. I'm very excited.
Yeah. There is from an incredibly good source that is correct that this roadshow has been absurd. It's like, I think they didn't go to New York. Everyone came to Texas, like to an auditorium. It was like, the Super Bowl. And it was just like, here's what this is. You guys want in or out? And I'm sure there was a slide that says, must use Grok or something like that. But apparently it was like the biggest power move in the history of power moves.
Now the leverage that you're talking about is unmatched to force people to spend billions elsewhere, to force them to use your tools everywhere, to force them to drive your cars. Like this is the beginning of the end for that. Yeah.
Yes. Well, along those lines, at least now, Chris Park put this out, that basically this is kind of a non-story story. The X API is no longer impossible and it is like made for developers and they now have pay per use and like, as we talk about like using Claude and ChatGPT a lot, but like it's so clear that you need basically like a token style model and a pay per use model for these APIs. And, between X and then eventually, I guess, as X and Grok collide, and then you start to have their coding solution come to market, this API is going to be how they make money. I mean, they're going to be, like old Twitter used to think, they bought DataSift back in the day. Remember they were going to charge for like data? Yeah. Like they were going to be like an API licensing company and an ads company. New Twitter actually gets to be an ads company and an API company. It's not going to be data licensing. Yeah, it's going to be effectively compute licensing. But it's pretty interesting.
No, I think it's an interesting one. I think if you're going to build APIs from the ground up and fix it, like you're building it for agents, right? You're building it for that use case. You're not kind of building it for the traditional sense. And I think that kind of segues into this one that I found from Jeff Wu, who is the founder and managing director at Anti-Fund, which is with the Paul brothers, the founder of Ketone IQ. So somebody very well versed in the space. He writes that every SaaS founder who doesn't convert to API first architecture in the next 6 months will get obliterated by agents. Your beautiful dashboard means nothing when Codex and Claude can call your endpoints directly. Stop building interfaces, start building infrastructure. And I think when we see what X has done, I knew you would like this one. I knew API James would like this one. This is just everything you espouse on this podcast and on your own Twitter and LinkedIn. This is it, right? It's like, what are we doing as companies if you're not building API first and if you're not building for agents? Because it is here. Like, this is it. So everyone trying to tweak
and
those
the API
buttons.
Can't be. Yeah. Design is toast. Not design in the traditional sense. I still think there's like going to be beautiful design that comes from the API, like the things that you get back from it. I still think can have a lot of value, right? Like, and I think the brand is super important. But I think like how you can build these APIs around, like, especially in the ads world, around like curation and simplicity and like, and just reliability, I think is like so important. And I don't get how like, it's weird because like, we've talked about this before, but like, because the UI is collapsing and because like, you don't need these beautiful apps necessarily anymore. Like, it's confusing to see what does matter, right? Like in terms of like what the user interface looks like. But I think as a result of that, the only thing that you know is going to be defendable over time is having the API. So like it's API first, and then I think it's brand second, ironically. And then I don't really know what happens third.
And I think design is definitely part of brand, right? But like it has to be secondary to the API. Like if that's what you want one of your differentiators to be and one of your values, like that's fantastic. But you need to build a product and a brand that can service everyone else in these agents. You can't be so
It makes me really think too how important it is to be a creator. I texted this to a friend this weekend where like I think it's like they should go destroy the UI and the interface, go API only, make sure it's the best solution for any of these LLMs, and then be on X all day, every day, talking about how to use these products and how to find success. Like, I feel like that is going to be the new, it's like, that's the new user interface. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, you're going to like my primary post then, but we won't tease it too much. Fun. All right, let's get into this next one from Jason Schumann, who wrote, I met with the head of investment banking at one of the biggest names in IPOs. He said, right now, public markets only want three things: large language models, so OpenAI, Anthropic; defense, Anduril, Sarconic; and physical AI, so robotics like Zipline, Dandy, Flock. And kind of, this is also a kind of a non-story. I think everyone knows this, who follows tech kind of knows this. But I don't think this is anything different for markets. We go through cycles, and we're in a cycle right now that is AI heavy, both LLM, physical, and there's wars going on in the world. So I think like defense is kind of a no-brainer. And this is just the cycle we're in. So I think it's interesting to see that the investment banks are following kind of what we're all following and reading and what we talk about. But at the end of the day, we're in a cycle.
Yeah, a cycle that like loves CapEx. You know,
fair,
like,
yes, fair enough.
You know, because you don't like see that on there, you know, obviously like a bias, like an advisor of them, and I have no inside information or anything like this, but like you don't see like Discord, right? Yeah. Like where like the social networks, which are like in theory going to become ads businesses and SaaS businesses, right? Like you don't see that being in favor right now. It could be an opportunity, like an arbitrage opportunity for people to over time, but it is interesting to think that like the Reddit IPO, I don't know if it would be like shoved into the LLM bucket or like it would not do well in this market. You know, it's like, and then I'm curious what happens to guys like I'm like an investor and it's a bias, but like Turing, for example, like there's like these like AI services businesses. Are they going to be looked at in the same way as the LLMs? Or are they going to be looked at as like application layer like that? I'd love to see like some of those go out and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think we're going to see those before we see some of physical AI just seems, it's so capital intensive, and it just seems we're far away from that like being everywhere. Right, at least in the sense,
which is probably a good reason for some of these other companies to get out fast before the physical guys get there.
For sure, yeah, capture some of that excitement, and then let's see what happens. Okay. All right, cool. What else you got?
Well, we got classic Andreessen post, which is he says. We may not have programming languages or even interfaces in 10 years. I kind of like believe in this too, is that like he says, if you project forward, you have to think forward to a world in which it's just, I'm going to tell the thing what I need and it's going to do it in whatever way is most optimal. And so like, I think this is another one where you have to like I don't know why you need this stupid iterative step of UI. Like, again, like when you're setting up Cloud Code or you're like building something in there and it tells you to like go to a website and you're just like, dude, just go do it. You're like, I don't care. Like, but you go to these sites, like you like navigate to it and you can see all like the love and effort that people put into like the buttons and the placement, like all the things that we used to actually spend a lot of time thinking about. And you're like, I don't care. Like, just if the AI can navigate it, it can navigate it. So I think, I think voice is going to be huge, obviously, but I don't think you need these abstraction layers anymore. Like, when I talk to you right now, it's not like you're like thinking and then drawing me a picture of what you're thinking about. And then it's like, we just talk and like, this is basically what's going to happen.
Yeah. I do think, we see it today, right? There will be different models at different quote unquote intelligence levels. And we're not going to ask, what is the most optimal or how are you doing this? The same way we do with employees or team members today. It's just like, go do the thing. Here, I want you to get to Z. That's the outcome I want. Get there, right? And here's what I need you to do it by. And like, I don't care if you do it in a suboptimal way or the most optimal way, right? Just get the job done.
Like I have no idea how much compute that just took your brain. Like maybe it was a lot, maybe it was a little. I don't know. Like,
I don't know. Like, you and the smarter guy did it in the same 24 hours. Like, great.
It's fine. It's funny. I had a friend text me yesterday in the Midwest, not in tech, and he's got a company, like a physical business company, and he was like. He was like, I'm thinking about just handing my business over to OpenClaw. And I was like, I probably wouldn't do that quite yet. I think you could. He's like, what do you think? I was like, it just seems a little, but like, it's the genie's out of the bottle. Yeah. Like if my buddy in the Chicago suburbs who's like not in tech at all is like, I can just have this robot do everything for me. Then, you're building for a world of robots. Everyone knows this now, but like, I do think the end of that is, if you were going to start a company today, I don't think it looks, I really think it's like, it's around the brand, it's around trust. And then it's really purely an API that can be used by these AIs. And then you have some super simple interface and you don't overthink it and you aren't like precious with it. And you just make it easy to use for the people who are still on the other side of the fence,
Yeah. I just keep thinking about your friend. That could be the ultimate grift right now. Just go around the Midwest and I'll get your business on OpenClaw so you can go golf all day and then just disappear.
He said he's got like significant amount of capital in the business bank accounts. And he's like, would you let it spend money? I was like, no, like no one's like
coming from the optimist of optimists for this to tell your friend, like,
I just think it's like, it's a little early to do that, but it's all, I think it's all coming. Yes.
It's coming. Just maybe don't start there. Yeah.
Yes. Good segue for this Toby one, which is David Senra who's like everywhere. I feel like that guy's like really just blown up.
Yeah. I mean, another TBPN shout out. So here we go.
Yeah, I know this, we got
they're doing good stuff. They're doing good work. Here we go.
Game recognizes game, right? That's, but he says that he talked to the CEO of Shopify and basically said like, this is the year that every single business in the world is up for grabs. Like that's how we're going to look at it. And that AI is coming for everything. Obviously like we agree with this. I think it's just like, I don't know if you're a founder, if you're an entrepreneur right now, or if you're sort of like an entrepreneur, which like I kind of look at us right now, like we're like building a business inside of a business. It really is a moment where like, if you're not sitting here spending 70% of your time just thinking like, how do I like level up what I'm building for this moment? I think you are really going to regret it. And the stakes are so high and like the gains are so real if you can pull it off. So it's cool. I mean, I think people are just going to build so much cool stuff, but I do think like, you see it like now, like the law firm one is a great one where it's like now all these new law firms are coming in. There's definitely going to be just be new everything. So it's nuts.
It's cool. I do think we're going to look at this too. I mean, maybe the other angle of this is going to be the year where I think we see a turning point of like older legacy businesses that this is their downfall, right? Because of the work that they have to go to sign off on all this AI, everyone's going to move faster. And so what happened decades ago, when kind of some of those businesses turned over and we started to see the decline of, I don't know, Intel, Oracle, they've come back, Apple at that point. I think we're going to see something similar here. And then I think people reading this that look at that headline, right? AI is coming for everything. That's like a really scary kind of misleading headline. But really all that means is it can touch everything now. It can make everything more efficient. It can make all of us more efficient. It can help level up these businesses and productivity. I mean, to me, that AI is coming for everything isn't scary. Like that's incredible, right? That's going to touch everything in this world.
Just you're like talking in clips, bud. I love it. Yeah, I agree. And I think the biggest companies have the most to gain. And I think either going to see big companies adapt or they're going to start acting like PE firms and start acquiring stuff. Yeah. It's like pretty obvious. And then, so yes, I think that's a great one. Quick little detour into, what is basically, what we do all day is ads, is, Antonio Garcia Martinez, founder of FBX, oversees ads at Coinbase, kind of a legend, wrote Chaos Monkeys, right? Right. In e-commerce, the auctions will be reverse, with sellers bidding to be featured in the results or to simply be the thing the agent buys via price discrimination and personalized offers that resemble ad auctions because that's exactly what they are. Ads for AI agents. This has gone from a year ago, the founder of Perplexity said this exact same thing. Everyone laughed at him, to now painfully obvious this is exactly what's going to happen. And it is why you need to make sure your APIs and all your documentation are all made for these agents, right? That is like going to become really important. And then you're going to have to start really thinking about CAC to LTV in terms of different ways of how your API gets used, because that will become like the acquisition funnel. Yeah. I do think I was talking to someone on X about it this weekend where like I was complaining about Anthropic and like the metering. Yeah. It's so annoying because like we run out of usage. And it was just like, they should, like the first ad unit these guys should roll out is just sponsored sessions. Yeah. Like the next half hour is brought to you by Coke. It's like, I don't care. Like, give me some tokens and just like, it's so clear. Just do that. Like start there and then like work on the auction. Like if I were at OpenAI, it's like you do that and you do your ads business. And now you have like your Twitter trends. I mean, you throw it away. Like Facebook had a homepage ad at one point. Like they the login screen ad.
I love that.
You throw it away eventually, but I think
you watch this 60-second ad, answer a question, and you have a Coca-Cola wrapper on your Anthropic for for the day. Like, and they paid $5 million for that. Whatever it is. Like, dude, it's a win-win.
And it's so much better than like having to do some stupid trade desk integration. No offense to trade desk, but like why? Like if you're going to be a walled garden, just do it. So yes, I think that stuff should happen. I think Antonio's right. I think ads for AI agents can be huge. I'm unsure if it's a standalone business or if it's tech that you build that gets acquired and then owned by a walled garden. Like, I'm curious if there's like an app loving in all this or not. But the more I think about it, actually, the more I kind of think there is, because everything's getting so commoditized on the intelligence layer that maybe there are a bunch of different interfaces with different business models. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Little skeptical, but you gotta tease it. Sure.
Tease it. All right.
Okay.
All
right.
Is this now? Do we get now the class? Do we have this new audio?
We got the audio. Here we go.
Primary post. Primary post.
All right. Now it's primary post time. What a level up for this podcast, for this show.
Yes.
All right, you kick us off today.
I will go first. This one is from Akash Gupta, and it's a long one, but I'll make it fast. Which is billions of dollars in PM salaries, A/B tests, and design sprints spent optimizing what you see when you log in the context of SaaS. And then basically says that all the UIs are going away, and basically the losers are every company whose product is essentially a spreadsheet with better CSS. Generative AI means that 15 years of front-end moat building were war back for the only question that ever mattered: how good is your API? I think that's it. That's my primary post. Yeah. I agree with it a lot, and that's going to be how good is your API is going to be the question for everything. Quick plug for the Universal Ads API. Very good. Check that out. Developers.universalads.com. Give us feedback. But yeah, you gotta, this is all you gotta do.
This is the move. This is the answer.
So what do you got?
All right. I got the other side of it. So as everything's moving to API, we talk about distribution. So I got one from Michael Lieben, who is the founder of Cold IQ. Where he writes, we offered $5,000 to whichever employee got the most engagement on LinkedIn in a single quarter, $2,500 for second, $1,500 for third, plus $500 for anyone who published 20 times or more. He goes on to talk about the results, the new clients, the ROI on this. I mean, this is the new model for distribution. Everyone in a business needs to get involved. Everyone is part of the go-to-market. It doesn't matter if you're in engineering and product and sales. Everyone is part of the go-to-market. And I liked this because he's actually funding it. He's telling employees, like, you're part of go-to-market and we're going to comp you for it, right? And so now he's got hundreds of pieces of content for, I don't know, $8,000, $10,000.
You know, incentives matter, and moving as one. Like, he's basically made like a little hive mind, right, of the company. And it is, I think there's people need a reason to do things that aren't in the job description. I think is very fair. And this is absolutely a hack for small companies. They should absolutely do this. And some big companies, if they can figure out a way to do it, right? I mean, good luck getting it through HR, but it would work. And again, it would work better.
Can you imagine a big company with 100,000 employees putting out 5 pieces of content each? Like, LinkedIn would know what to do.
Break. We would. I mean, if our LinkedIn spam wasn't strong enough, yes. So this is a good one. I like it. Let's try to do our own version of this somehow.
Here we go. Okay. Any sponsors interested? Cool. We've got Beehive. We have HubSpot on the newsletter. We got a few others in the works. Anybody interested? Come talk to us. And we're open for business. How was that, James?
Perfect. Right. ADSN out.
It's ADSN on the beat, where the data meets the street. James and Daniel in your feed, breaking down the code you need. Tech talk, ad game, and a little AI. Every week we got the chat on ADSN.